We shall see if the fears of fear will be realized in this opening game of Team Bright taking on G2.iG. Remember, loser goes home. Well, they're already at home, but loser stays there, doesn't get to
Yeah.
participate in DreamLeague. You just gotta be sad for the homies. One thing that I'm curious about, right, with Ulu's build on this Nature's Prophet, is he gonna double down and go some like Deso builds to try and exploit the maximum amount of negative armor so that they can play even faster? You can kill Juggernaut through spin, you can roach super early. What are you feeling from a carry perspective for this NP?
I think you don't go that because you need a farming item. So I think the Maelstrom build is going to be your go-to. Then after that, I'm not entirely sure what he wants to do with that. It's either going to go into the Mjolnir or he'll go into the Gleipnir. Some good choices as well. I do really enjoy Mage Slayer as well this patch. It does help you a lot when you're playing versus a Bat Rider, and even like this Juggernaut, like reducing the amount of magical damage he can do, because for some reason, it just goes through debuff immunity. We won't call it magic immunity because that's not what it is anymore. And Mage Slayer is honestly the most obnoxious item in the game, and that's why Ember is so popular right now too. But we might see some action happening.
Might indeed. A small skirmish might emerge here as they've done the wraparound from G2.iG. TK is the one that breaks the smoke. However, the positioning is good enough. And who's actually planted out this ward on the high ground? That was TK himself. So he was ready for this move. They're prepared for it. They'll avoid death, but it does come at the cost of having to give up an additional bounty rune. Much better than giving up first blood though, so you'll definitely take it. And they got the D ward as well. That's a good start to the game for G2.iG. Getting the D ward down bottom, get the additional runes, and you're going to be able to apply pressure onto Ulu. Man, this is a perfect way to start the game.
Yeah, and they're even body blocking the bot lane here. That way this goes into the tower. Ulu tries to stop it with a Sprout here, and I guess he is a little successful there. Just a little counterplay there. Very nice game mechanic there by Ulu.
So smart. So
smart. But the real question for me is going to be both these side lanes here, as I believe both of the carries can be pressured pretty hard, but we'll have to see. I think this Juggernaut lane has a better chance of winning than the NP lane, or at least not dying.
Right now, just playing very close underneath this tier 1 tower. X-Nova will be on hand to try and protect them. Level 2 is coming soon, so not going to be at risk of dying just yet. I was asking you earlier about some minus armor. Now that I think about it, they have Tide as well, right? So they don't actually need to build minus armor. God Wave and Gush should be more than good enough. Let's talk about this mid lane, though, because NTS, very low in the HP at the moment, is having his Borodal ferried into him. But with the changes to the Flame God, it feels like this matchup not as straightforward as it used to be. Ember Spirit feels like he's a little bit more advantaged than he used to be in prior days. This Flame God, dude, I don't understand why he got buffed to this extent. It's way too good at the moment.
I mean, Ember is he's a beast right now. If you can't shut this hero down in the laning stage, he builds that item that I was talking about before called Mage Slayer. Your entire team is doing far less magic damage because Sleight of Fist is just, it hits the entire team. That's just how the spell kind of works, and you put that debuff on them. So not only are you super tanky now with that item, you make your team effectively really tanky, and of course, it does damage now too. A lot of damage. So not only did this hero get buffs, but one of the big thing every look at every patch is I never just look at the heroes. I look at the item changes, because that typically means more than the specific changes to heroes. And some heroes just benefit from certain items that get changed more than others. And for me, Mage Slayer, that is the item of the patch right now, and Ember uses it beautifully.
How many tournaments in recent days have we seen being won purely off of itemization? Hell, TI was one off of the damn Wraith Pact.
Wraith Pact was a great item. That's going to go down in history.
It was not a great item. Oh my gosh. That was... Yeah. That's gonna be right up there with like first iteration like in Wolfbite. The stacking magic resistance. It's like, what the hell were we thinking, actually?
Oh, the Chen one? Yeah, that was a great one. You just get like 4 magic resist creeps and your team's invulnerable to magic damage. That's kind of like Wraith Pact right now. That's like Wraith Pact was like version 2.0, right? And Mage Slayer is like version 3.0. So it's getting slowly balanced down, but these items in general that reduce damage in a big AoE seem to be very strong.
Yep. Right now, very quiet laning phase. Haven't necessarily seen anything break down, and you see Team Bright very happy to just get their farm on in this perspective. Nature's Prophet's farming well. Ember's farming really well in the mid lane relative to this puck. And of course, Irving not going to really be threatened all that much, at least this early on, with the help of the Vengeful Spirit. Life is good. Life is nice. And I feel like if you're Team Bright, even though you have Nature's Prophet, because you're playing Nature's Prophet as a core rather than support, you don't have real impetus, right, to try and force things on the map. You're pretty happy with how things are going.
Yeah, for now. I think the only scary part is this bottom lane. It's because... Oh, he's going to TP out, actually. He just stole a water rune away from the puck and TP'd back to the lane. And that's going to mean nothing to say. It's going to be sitting at, like... Alright, Monet gets a kill as well.
They do get the kill. They get themselves to the level 3. Blast off into spin. It's a first blood kill, but did he buy out before he went down? No, he did not. So he actually didn't end up losing gold.
Yeah. But to touch a little more on what Ulu just did there is he just kind of owned nothing to say his game. Because now Butterfly Effect is level 5, going to be diving you under a tower. It's pressuring him really hard. And that is all because the position 1 Nature's Prophet stole his rune. And now nothing to say. He just doesn't have a game anymore. One more slight. Dude, now guess what? He's got to go back to base.
Wow. They even lift the wave to make sure that Butterfly Effect could skip past the tier 1 tower. Ensure that they keep this pressure up onto NTS. Yep, this is when as the mid player you start calling out, alright boys, I'm gonna need some help. There's no way I can do this by myself anymore.
And yeah. They'll be able to survive just a little bit here. If they wanted to, the next TP on Ulu could result in a kill in the mid lane. It is possible.
Oh my gosh. NTS has to be really careful, right? If he orbs again at any point, Ulu probably comes in. Yeah. And then they just kill him off. Alright, there's the orb. Ulu, what you got, buddy? Are you ready?
He has too many creeps
Ulu
on
has
their
much
tower.
better patience than me.
He has too many creeps on their tower. In fact, he might be in trouble here. On the NP bot
getting dove upon underneath his own tier 1 tower. Baboka there with the Firefly. They even bring in JT to cancel out the teleportation of impact. Red Panda tries to save him with the disruption, but Ulu will almost certainly take a tumble here. Baboka ticks him out with the Firefly. Very nicely done, and Red Panda might also follow him into the grave here as JT gets a little bit closer. Couple of more hits is all they need. Just one more swipe of the gigantic paws, and the Rhino Man gets the kill. 2 heroes brought down. Excellent usage of the twin gate in that scenario. And G2.iG on the board, 3-0 right now, and getting themselves in a much more favorable position.
I mean, they might be doing really well in the mid lane department, but this Nature's Prophet, as I feared, is going to start getting really scary at this point in the lane. He actually probably can't even go bot anymore. He won't. He's going to go top.
Actually, they might lose Irving in the top lane. Irving getting spanned down upon. Nice little magic missile. They TP onto Monet. Ulu utilizes the additional damage from the minus armor to right-click down the Juggernaut and the Techies. Both of them fall, granting him the double. And Ulu, all of a sudden, regaining the goal that he lost by dying in the bottom lane.
And that's exactly what he needed to, because he can't really go back bottom, not very much anymore, because you're playing versus a Batrider, you're playing versus a Primal. What do you do if you're an NP if both those heroes get on top of you? You just have to TP out, I guess, but you can't, because JT is going to be very patient with the onslaught, or you never know, like X-Nova might be coming through the twin gate there. So he's going to have to go jungle, and even though he did get those kills, he still doesn't have a home now. He doesn't have any lane that he can really go to, so they're going to continuously look for an opportunity to get more kills like that. But that was probably best case scenario for him. Otherwise, he wouldn't have had anywhere to go.
Very, very nice kill. If they keep this up and Tide gets a little bit closer to the tier 1, he can probably come back once he's at least finished off the Maelstrom, apply pressure on the tower itself. In the jungle, though, it might be having a little bit of a skirmish here as X-Nova finds himself pretty much dead. Butterfly Effect gets that kill. Surprisingly, his first one of the game, given how things have been going for him, but that will complete his full set of boots. Flying into him right now. He's also level 7. I imagine it's not too much longer before we start to see Butterfly Effect try to have impact elsewhere on the map.
Bottom tower.
Do you remember when I said, Snare, I'm afraid that this Primal of JT is just going to have a free game and trample over everything? It looks like he's having a free game and trampling over everything.
What threatens him right now? They'd have to bring like 4 heroes to kill him, the way things are looking at the moment, and they definitely do not have the latitude to do that at the moment.
Yeah, they definitely need the Ember to be able to do it, but Ember, it's only level 7, so he doesn't have a point in Shane, so I dare say they can't kill him right now. Literally impossible. They might be able to with Ravage, and when they get 1 point on Butterfly Effect, having the chains, and potentially a rune, but that's not the right rune on Butterfly Effect. He's going to have to get a more offensive rune, but he does have a shield rune now, which means his farm is secured for the next 2 minutes. He ain't going to die either.
Speaking of secured farm, Monet will come bottom to finish off the tier 1 tower. He's going to be able to play both in the top lane and take the twin gate down here as necessary. It's going to start getting crazy in the farm department. Of course, building Maelstrom, because if you are a IG carry, or just any kind of carry in general, there's no point building anything but Maelstrom as a farming item. I mean, Lifestealers can build Radiance now and then, but the age of Battle Fury is dead and gone. Just gotta build yourself up the Maelstrom into Mjolnir. Nothing else you can do.
Yeah, there's very few heroes that build Battle Fury anymore. Maybe just like Troll, Ursa, and Anti-Major, ones that come to mind. Maybe PA.
Oh, bro. Dude, even Trolls have been building Maelstrom. By the way, X-Nova, bye-bye, you're dead. He is going to get taken out. I must say, TK has actually been really on point with his warding game. Like, there's this ward that he planted out on the top lane, scouted the techies for the kill. Now they can secure themselves the tower. The ward that he planted bottom, scouted the Monet rotation, so they knew where not to be playing. So he's been providing a lot of safety to his team just by giving adequate vision. It turns out vision wins games here. Or at least it helps the game be a lot easier than it should be otherwise.
Oh, it definitely does, and that's why every hero that used to give vision, like Beastmaster, stuff like that, you can no longer do that because it's such a strong tool. You just gotta use the old-fashioned method now, the Observer wards.
Support actually have to work and think about what they're doing in the game. Game is hard.
Well, you don't have
I don't
to,
like to
but
hear that.
if you want to win, it's probably a good idea. There's always the option to not use your brain.
It's like, do you want to win, or do you just want to like mess around in Dota? You know, see pretty lights. A lot of pretty lights in this game.
Yeah.
Speaking of pretty
I
lights,
definitely played with my share of people that like that.
Just pretty lights enjoyers.
Yeah.
I'm curious when they might be bringing in some reinforcements towards this mid lane. Because the puck is caught up in net worth to where the Ember Spirit was. So despite the advantage that Butterfly Effect was enjoying earlier, it's primarily been eroded. And NTS, I mean, he is flying a little bit close to the sun right now, but he backs himself to be able to escape from here. Level 2 Waiting Rift as well as a Dream Coil. But tier 1 tower already down to half HP in the mid lane. There's a little bit of token resistance.
Oh, nothing to say.
They should be able to
that.
them. I'm very surprised he did that, dude. Like,
all right.
Okay.
Alright, he's gonna back now, but nothing to say is not having a great game. Monet's having a good game. Obviously, JT is having a monstrous game as he is getting closer to Shiva's, just a recipe way. But granted, the recipe is now 1,700 gold, but this is still a monster of a hero. If he continues at this farm rate and just pops out with a random Shiva's, that's going to do a lot of damage to these team fights here. But at the same token here, like Butterfly Effect, he's going to have his Mage Slayer pretty soon here. He's been hard to kill, and once he gets that, I'm not going to say he's impossible to kill, but with this Vlad Zora, with Irving behind him, with a swap, and with a, I guess it's Shadow Demon too, with the Disruption, they have a lot of great supports to just save the cores. And a D-ward.
Salvation. They did get themselves a tier 1 tower middle, and that is going to precipitate the smoke. They realize, I mean, we spoke about it earlier, right? It's going to take at least 4 heroes to kill this JT Primal Beast, and 4 heroes are indeed coming. Tide Hunter is going to stay middle, but they can easily bring Ulu in for the action. This is, of course, they need to find him first, and they do catch him out right now. Searing Chains will hold him in position, and he does throw out the Pulverize, but it's a token effect. He knows what's up, and they will end up killing him. The kill goes the way of Red Panda, a little bit unfortunate given how farmed this Primal Beast was, but they'll just be happy to get him off the map a little bit for now.
Yeah, I mean, that'll help him accelerate a little bit, but you definitely wanted that kill on Butterfly Effect, if possible, because he is the hero that is going to snowball this game. In fact, he has been snowballing this game. I've been very impressed by his performance so far in this game, number one.
I must say, this Team Bright Squad, looking at them play these qualifiers, a lot of these players have really improved. I think Butterfly Effect and Ulu in particular, throughout the last year of the DPC, they look fairly lackluster. I'll put it that way in a nice fashion. We'll talk about it in a moment as Ulu, one of these players, got himself caught in the lasso, but Red Panda on hand to prevent the follow-up. throwing in the disruption to keep him alive. And the rest of the team immediately rebounded numbers. They get the kill back onto X-Nova. They force the Batrider to leave the lane. And they not only protect the tier 1 tower, but they allow Ulu to be able to farm this ancient camp. Very nice of them.
Well, that's a nice little trick. I haven't really played much carry NP ever since Treants were nerfed into oblivion, but apparently you can do ancient stacks by just sprouting the camp in place. They can't move, so cleaning up that stack pretty nicely. He went Urn too, which we see every once in a while, like a Spectre or something, but I guess this carry NP is so unexplored right now. I don't hate it. It seems like it's okay. It allows you to fight, but it's definitely unusual.
We'll see what it ends up doing throughout the game. There's no way he upgrades this to Vessel, right? It's definitely staying
No,
as the whole game.
That's too much of an investment. And I don't see it particularly being good this game either, right? There's no heroes that it's really going to shut down.
I mean, I guess unless you're really that worried about the healing word from Monet, this should not be that big of a deal.
Yeah. I mean, do you farm faster with Sprout than you do with Treants? This is looking pretty quickly. I mean, it's looking pretty quick on how fast he's farming with this NP. I'm definitely taking notes here. I might steal this.
It's a 9-second cooldown, dude, on max levels. It's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts.
No, it's pretty good. He's like
you'll have to run the
sprouting. Because he's not taking damage either, and the damage is pretty good. Honestly, you're not farming like Luna speed or anything, but if you look at the type of game JT has had and the type of game that Ulu had, he's keeping up with a network just by mainly just hitting the creeps there.
Butterfly Effect's game might get a little bit worse right now. He's being gone upon. Oh my god, what a player. All right, shout out TK. He gave up his life for the cause there, and the fight's not
going
over.
in.
Irving wants to re-engage. He has access to Ravage. But I could almost smell the pings coming in from Team Pride, being like, bro, get back. We don't want to do this right now. Just relax, chill. It's okay.
Yeah, I just had a carry problem there. I'm just sitting there mesmerized at him hitting creeps and a team fight breaks out. All carry players have been there.
Classic. Yep. You're busy watching Yatoro farm patterns.
Yep.
And then there's a big fight, everybody dies, and you're like, oh, my bad, boys. Sorry about that.
I had my priorities, right? I'll learn more from his farming patterns than that team fight, I'll tell you that much.
I mean, of course. The only thing we learned from that fight was that IG, they committed 4 heroes for that move. Committed Lasso, committed Dream Quail, and they literally just got TK out of it. So even if he's not planting wards, he's using his own body to provide vision and to bail folk out of trouble. So I'm actually really liking what they're doing in the support movements here from the side of Team Bright. And also created space for the carry, right? Because while this was happening, Ulu finished off a full Mjolnir, or Gleipnir, excuse me.
Yeah.
He's got that ready to go right now with his power treads.
I mean, he's going the exact build that I wanted him to go. I mentioned Gleipnir into Mage Slayer, and that seems exactly what he's going to do. So glad to see I still have a decent read on the carry NP, even though it's been a long time since we've seen it. I think the moral of the story is you just go with the items that are buffed, right? Maelstrom's buffed. Gleipnir is almost always the choice if you're an intelligence hero, just because you get that 24 int and 350 help always helps with the int heroes. And of course the Mage Slayer. That item is just damn broken, so you just go for that whenever you have the opportunity.
Listen, mate, there's a reason they're buying 2 of them. It's so good, we've got to buy it twice.
Yep.
And you have a big movement going bottom. 3 heroes are smoked up right now. An observer word from earlier did just catch a glimpse of Monet, but oh, they see him now. Red Panda, he's got him. Monet's been scouted out. He's going to try go for the GG slash, but sadly it gets easily disrupted by the disruption. Monet spinning for victory, but
Monet's
gets dropped
dead
into the pathway of Ulu's damage, and he's going to get himself killed off. Red Panda also going to end up surviving this fight somehow on a sliver of HP, but Boko not able to bring him down. So Ulu making his presence known in this fight to provide the right-click damage. And they get 2 pretty important kills here, because this should enable them to push back this lane. Even if they don't get the tier 1 power, they're going to regain some map control on bottom.
Oh, that was really big. Like, you have to know, right, if you're using Omni Slash, that disruption has to be down for you to do that. If it's not down, he's obviously just going to press disruption, and he's going to live, and that's what happened, but butterfly effect.
Oh, top lane.
He's
oh
good.
my god. Dude, he's actually too good. He's actually too good at Dota.
I mean, that's just game sense right there, and then the Batrider bot lane. Guess who's there?
Here, butterfly effect. Drew all the attention towards top, comes right back bottom to get a kill. onto Bad Rider. Yet again, denied by his supports. He's pretty much just been on assist duty in this game, but nonetheless, his impact is definitely being felt all across this map. Soon he's going to have himself a Maelstrom as well. And while this is happening, Irving happily able to pick off this young techies. Man, this is going really well for Team Bright right now. 10 and 5. I mean, the gold lead might not look that significant right now, but their position on the map here just feels really, really good at the moment.
Oh yeah, it's definitely really good. They're definitely in a really good spot here. And if you kind of look at Juggernaut and our fears for this hero has 1200 HP. And he's got his Mjolnir complete, so he does a lot of damage. But you have a lot of ways to disjoint this Omni Slash. And Juggernaut's always been a hero where if you do one wrong Omni Slash, then you feel like you have no presence. And this is why this hero hasn't been good for a very long time. And that's what they're trying to alleviate with all these Blade Fury changes, trying to make it better, make Jug more about spinning. But it feels like you go for all these items, and you're still just so squishy. You just get right-clicked to death. You got 1200 HP on this Juggernaut. If you look at Ulu, who also just doesn't have many items here, he's got 2k HP. You're just so squishy on this Juggernaut hero, and you need so many items. And then with the nerf to level 20 taunt, where you don't lifesteal the way you used to, it can be difficult. And now there's going to be an Aegis potentially on top, but we'll see if G2.iG can fight this one out or not.
They have scouted it. They know what's happening. The Tidehunter's not here just yet. He's en route, lumbering in, but they really want to start this fight. They're going on to TK first. Dream Crow connect onto him and Butterfly Effect. Here comes JT with the Pulverize onto Butterfly Effect, but the swap will be there to protect him as Irving drops the Ravage, connects onto multiple heroes, and that should be the death knell of JT. He eventually died, but it does take a while. That's going to enable the Omni Splash from Monet to catch out Ulu as well as Irving, bringing both of them down. Butterfly Effect unable to really impact that fight, playing the edges, but he realizes that the edges are a dangerous place to be. It's time to vacate this fight. Xnova got himself the double. IG take the entire fight, and this skirmish is really going to be useful for them. And they're thinking about following Roshan through the Twin Gate and taking it in the bottom side of the map, taking away all the hard work that Team Brad put in to bring the big man lower in the first place.
Yeah, that was a beautiful Omni Slasher by Monet, but the biggest issue for that fight for Team Bright here, it was nothing to say on his puck. Like, I had concerns about nothing to say popping off in this game because we talked about how they have no stunts, right? But Butterfly Effect kind of just like nullified him for the first 20 minutes of this game. But now nothing to say. He's like, all right, you guys got no stuns. I can just blink in, stop your Venge, stop all your heroes, get a 3-man silence there, kind of get him really low, and started that fight beautifully. And Monet just, how do you just die like that?
Oh my god! Oh my goodness, the right click damage from Ulu. I mean, he's standing right next to TK, man. The Vengeance Aura, this pure right click damage, and he couldn't spin TP, right? The Nether Swap was right there to interrupt it. That is huge. This is going to put them right back on track to take the Roshan, because IG didn't feel confident enough to finish it off themselves, so he's still there for the taking.
Good old Juggernaut. Good old Juggernaut. Even in your spin, you're very mortal.
Well, Aegis for Butterfly Effect, I imagine.
I mean, you just look at it, right? He's gonna get the Aegis, but this is why they have the double Mage Slayer. All you have to do is right-click this Juggernaut. Not only are you getting the magic resistance to the item itself, you're also applying the debuff, doing 40% less damage to this Blade Fury. So how much damage is Monet doing outside Omni Slash? I feel like within Blade Fury, he's like better off not being in Blade Fury. In my eyes. Like, he just needs to get a really good Omni Slash as we saw him over there playing, play passively, but they might get over here.
He might indeed. He's the one that took the Aegis, so he felt he could play a little bit aggressively underneath the tier 1 tower, instantly gets punished for it. We'll see if they can get any vengeance for his life though. Xnova, very nice blast off there, but they could not keep a bead onto NTS. Ulu gonna be very, very unhappy about this one. That was the Blink Dagger reveal from the Bat Rider as well. And they actually get the roots out onto Ulu with the Nightmare. NTS, he's in the air right now with his Yule Scepter. Can they kill him off in time? He's trying to get himself onto the high ground, but he's going to get chased by Butterfly Effect. Butterfly Effect, Silence up, Dream Coil up. No. The Wave of Terror, though, from downtown. TK finds the snipe and they get the kill. He almost escaped here. His Blink Dagger just came back off cooldown. Half a second more and he would have been okay, but Team Bright catch him out and get revenge for the Aegis.
Yeah, it really was that Wave of Terror was the difference maker there. If they didn't get that kill with Wave of Terror, then Puck would have been out of there. But that's a really big kill. Kind of makes up for losing the Aegis just a little bit. Obviously, you don't want to lose that Aegis right away. You want to save that for a team fight. Just TP into the middle of it, eat an Omni Slash, right? Just come back and kill everyone. But you got 2 kills for it. It's not the worst. It's okay. I think Team Bright is still in a good situation here. Trying to figure out like Monet, I don't think he's really going to be fully online until he hits about level 20, which is only 4 levels away from now, but you can make a lot of things happen on the map right now if you're Team Bright. You've got the tempo, this Tide Hunter, also, he has a shard available, he's got a pipe, he's got a Vladmir's, just going to make them even more tanky to begin with. And look at your magic damage, right, from IG. They have so much magic damage, and you're playing versus 2 Mage Slayers and a pipe. I think if you stay as 5 on the side of Team Bright here, you definitely have the advantage right now in this game.
Dire's top tower is under
Well, to make matters worse, Juggernaut went for Mjolnir as a farming item, right? So even that gets impacted by this Mage Slayer. Reduces the chain lightning damage.
Yeah.
Man,
Pipe and Mage Slayer. That's a lot of magic resist.
You know it's a good game for magic resist when people are buying Pipe. I have not seen Pipe reliably being bought in such a long time, especially in this particular meta, but this is the perfect game for it. And a good reminder to everybody at home that don't just build cookie cutter. You utilize every tool available in the game. And if it's a good tool for the game, then you utilize it. Seems to be working out for them so far.
Yeah, it's quite good. And I think the one X factor in this game is going to be just the puck, the mobility, right? But I think the way Team Bright is utilizing their items against the puck is like, you know what, we're not going to stun the puck, but the puck is also going to do no damage if we just stay together. So he can do whatever he wants. We're just going to make sure he can't kill us. And it's a pretty decent approach, as the Glimmer Cape is on Red Panda as well. With the Midas, an item I don't see a ton of anymore since the nerfs, but why not? You know, if you have a lot of space on the map, it's still going to increase your net worth. So he's going to get even more farmed. And one of my favorite things I'm seeing on supports nowadays, Red Panda's got it going on right now, just build a casual 25-minute Wraith Band. Make you even more tanky.
Dude, that item needs nothing. Honestly, Wraith Band needs nothing. It's way too good. It's far too good.
Yeah. A lot of supports nowadays are just buying position 5 specifically. They'll just buy 2 Wraith Bands at 25 minutes. And they'll just be significantly more tanky.
Yep. You know what item needs buffing? Null Tally. I don't even remember the last time I saw it, dude.
Yeah, that item
sucks.
is terrible.
It's so bad.
Yeah, that item is just unpurchasable. I think every time I see someone buy it, I'm just like, what are you doing with your gold? It's never the right choice.
Like we're lost
it's never the right choice.
Yeah. Speaking of decisions that need to be made, G2.iG are going to be considering what their next avenue into the game is going to be, because we're not that far away from NTS having the full SNK. And they could maybe try to force a fight somewhere, but it looks like Baboka's on the hunt right now with the Batrider. Batrider in the river, looking towards the Vengeful Spirit. They will be able to find him a little bit, but it was a trap here. The reinforcements were waiting in the wings. They immediately pounced. They immediately killed Baboka. And this might set them up to try and force out some damage onto the tier 2 middle.
And it was half trap.
It was pretty bad to be bad.
Yeah, it was like half trap, and it was also half back got stunned before he lassoed the Venge. I'm not sure how that one happens. Maybe he got fogged or something. But I feel like you should never blink it on bat and not get the lasso off before getting Venge stunned. Because he had to go Venge, right? If he doesn't go Venge, then Venge is just going to save whoever, you know, he lassos. And that's kind of like what we talked about in the lineup. They have a lot of ways to make this Batrider's life hell in the team fights. So even though you do have this blink dagger, I mean, he's going for an Aghanims, which I didn't actually realize how farmed this Batrider is, but he's actually pretty farmed. If he finishes that
pretty
Aghs.
farmed in general in this game.
Yeah, they are.
We're going to have Batrider Aghs, Vengeful Spirit Aghs is not that far away. Red Panda has a Midas, so he's going to have his shard very soon as well. Like, this game, especially because it's been fairly light in the kill department, we are definitely having these supports reaping the benefits of being able to just farm all across the map. And pretty much all of them have some capacity to be able to do so.
Yeah, they definitely can. Monet, he might be in trouble here if he gets this throw. Oh, Purge right away.
And there's the swap. He's trying to get himself out with the spin. him, but the swap is gonna be there. He is a dead man for sure. At the very least, able to destroy the magic missile, goes with the Omni Slash, but the disruption comes out. That will be the death knell of Monet. Tried his best, tried to look cool while doing it, but will just end up dead. In the meantime, on the northern part of the fight, Butterfly Effect, him and Irving find the Batrider Super Boca. After the failed gank in the river, now finds himself in a situation where he fails the rescue. He will end up dead, and Team Bright can just keep the pressure going on this side of the map.
Where did Monet's Culling Blade go? I feel like you kind of have to have one of those for SMP. Maybe it wouldn't have impacted the fight too much, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like Monet is having a rough one in this game with this Juggernaut. And what do you do now? You're knocking at your high ground, your Jug's dead, your Bat's dead. Pipe is going to be off cooldown in 9 seconds. Mage Slayer's online. Full support sitting really far back, waiting to save. I think your Axe is gone here.
Yeah. This is also the AC reveal that came into this fight from Ulu, so the impact of that right-click damage, you mentioned it earlier, not a very high HP pool on the Juggernaut. So if he's getting himself in a situation where he's getting minus armored and there's a Venge Amp, there's just nothing you can do. So easy racks for them, they find the push, and honestly, IG, it feels like they're so far away from being able to stop this. You mentioned it in the draft, just how fast Team Bright can play, and when that speed does come out, IG feels like they don't really have that many options to dissuade them from doing it. It's not like they have like some Medusa waiting on the high ground to threaten them if they make a bad push. As soon as they see Omni Slashes down from Monet, they're like, well, they were practically playing 4v5. That hero is not going to do anything in the fight anymore.
Yeah, and I think a lot of this comes down to Butterfly Effect and how well he did in the mid lane versus his Puck. Because I think Nothing to Say had so many opportunities to pop off this game, but because he's shut down in the laning stage, the items are just amassing on Team Bright here, and they're making it so he just doesn't have the damage anymore to kill anyone. And that all has to do with just go back to the roots of like how this game started. Nothing to Say having a really slow game, but it doesn't mean they can't do anything, so they're going to smoke out now, and they got to make something happen.
Charges being led by JT, who was the one having an ostensibly free game earlier on. He needs to be able to demonstrate that value. The big man is about to get back in the mix. He's there. So whoever wins this fight could find themselves being rewarded with an Aegis as well. They're going for the full wrap around here. They really want this vision, but it's starting to seem a bit suspicious. Team Bright, they'll send out their supports. Red Panda's the one that reveals himself. There could be a swap back from TK to save his life, but he gets the self-disruption instead. He is still alive. Butterfly Effect goes into the mix, followed up by Irving, who catches the Ravage onto 3 heroes. JT tries to survive with the BKB. TP out. He will succeed in that endeavor, just barely. But the Puck and the Techie is not so lucky. Both of them taken out. Roshan right in front of Team Bright, so they will claim their reward. Even though it did require TK, I don't think TK had to buy back, but him buying back threatens IG, so they all have to retreat from the area.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised they took the fight in that manner, because Monet wasn't even close. Monet was off farming Ancients when they made that Roche initiation, and so was Ulu on the Nature's Problem, but Boca going on Mission Impossible. He's just gonna find himself dead. I mean, it's just one of those games, right?
In a losing game, yeah.
It's like, we're losing, you know, F it, I'm just gonna see if I can steal the Aegis, and everyone's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. What's the worst that could happen? Either he gets the Aegis or it's just another death.
Yeah. You know what's crazy to me about that previous fight that we saw? Like, JT had to retreat, you know, underneath BKB protection. He was having such a good game. Bro, he had second fastest Shiva's God the whole patch on this Primal Beast hero. So he was having a phenomenal start to things, but ever since then, just haven't been able to connect with anything on the map. And I think everything changed once they had that one death, because the Puck was still so far behind, like you mentioned, that they couldn't necessarily say, well, it's fine, respawn, let's go do something else, bro. Just didn't work out for them. Now they might even lose Monet. He's trying to spin to escape here with the TP, but of course, TK right there with the Venge swap. The damage comes out. Butterfly Effect killed them from off-map, off-screen. Just pops him with the W. Now that is the 5th death for our carry Juggernaut in this game. Oh man, things are not looking any easier. His Butterfly is going to get delayed, and it seems like his prospects of winning this game are going to go even further into the ground.
Okay, I would say in that scenario, he might be regretting he didn't have a Quelling Blade, because he could have got out of that sprout and ran away. But then again, the Venge swap will always be there, so it's still rough. I just don't know what Monet can do in this game. It's
Dire's middle tower
I've been
is
waiting
under
to be impressed by Juggernaut, and I'm still waiting. This ain't the game.
Dire's middle
Oh,
tower
take the game. Raxa got there taken out. Weather amp damage, rune on butterfly effect. You know it's bad when there's a puck behind the hero. They know that they're all grouped up. They're set up for a 5-hero Dream Coil and they could care less. They don't even look at the puck. They're like, alright bro, then what? You'll Dream Coil us all and how's that gonna go for you? They're not backing off either. They have the Aegis on Ulu. JT gonna try and interrupt this attempt on the Rax. He's gonna get Magic Missile for his efforts. And look at the right click damage. Ulu and Butterfly Effect with their BKBs bring down JT. At the same time, NTS is able to remove TK from play, and that's a dieback from the Vengeful Spirit. So JT buying back turns us into a 4v5. Monet rushing forward, has access to the Omni Slash, but also recognizing how squishy he actually is. Doesn't want to be the first one.
I still
into
have
the fray.
Ravage.
NTS is trying to just soften them up on the backlines, looking towards Red Panda and Ulu. Now spinning towards Monet, but Monet right now knows that as soon as the spin is down, he can get himself ravaged up. Omni Slash will go out. Ulu, he'll be the primary person that eats most of the damage. He has an Aegis coming back for round number 2. Butterfly Effect getting silenced up by the Puck. Puck doing the most, my friend, but at the same time, the Ravage from Irving catching 3 heroes here. Nothing to say, can only do so much as Monet spins through, able to kill Butterfly Effect, but now they've been softened up enough that Ulu can easily clean up house on the back line. JT dies back. Monet has been brought down as well, and the game is over. IG throw in the towel. GG, well played as called, and Team Bright continue the run of upset performances as they take down G2.iG and put themselves in pole position to win this series and continue in the Dream League 22 qualifier.